Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Win the Day. I am Tanika D'Souza, the 100K Challenge Chick, and I have an awesome topic for us today because for the next few weeks, I'm going to be teaching you guys and walking you through how you're going to maximize your holiday sales. And you could be thinking, does she realize it's the middle of the year? Like, why is she talking about the holiday when we're in July and August? That's not the topic. The truth is, it is the topic. You absolutely need to start preparing your mind as a business owner to understand that to run your business efficiently, you need to be thinking 2 to 3 quarters ahead. So at this point, if we're in quarter 3, if we're at the beginning of quarter 3, or maybe even midpoint, then we're behind for executing something for quarter 4. However, I absolutely understand what it means to run a small business, to have so many things on your plate that really being about 2 quarters ahead, a quarter and a half is likely where you're going to be. However, that is now when you're thinking about your holiday sales. So today that's what we're going to talk about. Like, what is that first step? What are those first few things that you need to be thinking about so that you can maximize your holiday sales? So definitely stay with me because today we're really going to help you understand why this is important and what you need to do to really jump in and get the ball rolling so that you're not behind and not thinking about this at the last minute, and definitely not maximizing your holiday sales. So first, I do want you to recognize that I have a workshop designed to help you understand how to do this. I'm going to go through a complete roadmap for you, and that is going to be August 21st, 2021. If you're listening to this and it's after that date, you can find it, you can request it, and we will have the replays for sale. So I want you to attend live because that is where you are going to be able to ask questions, talk about your business, get real time coaching and responses. And it's going to be in a group setting. So for some of you who are thinking, I've never done this before, I don't even know what to ask, you can listen to how other people are processing and thinking this through and apply it to your business. I think that community and doing group workshops are a powerful way to learn how to build your business, learn the things you should be focusing on, the questions you should be asking, and whether you're shy or not, it gives you an opportunity to learn and grow right there in that environment. So I think attending live is definitely a priority. So put it on your calendar for August 21st, and I will be putting the link there for you guys to register for this workshop. So, as I said before, your first step is making sure, one, that you're registered and you can attend and talk and get coached live. But on the roadmap, the very first step is you considering what is the product or service that I'm going to offer. Um, some of you will say, well, I just have one product or service. But when you think about how you're packaging that, what is the promotion? What is the enhanced features that you're going to have? All of that needs to be considered now so that you then can take the rest of the steps on this roadmap to really maximize your holiday sale. So during the workshop, we're going to talk about types of products and services that are easy to scale in your business and will make sense for you and your brand. So today, we're going to be really diving more into why you need to make those decisions now. Okay. Most companies, as I mentioned before, will solidify their plans 2 to 3 quarters. Okay, so that's 6 to 9 months in advance. I have been in business for a very long time. A lot of you have heard my story, but the origin story of my entrepreneurial growth is in my bakery. My husband and I have owned several businesses, still own several businesses, but the most lucrative and the one that took the most of my time, energy, effort, where I grew the most is my bakery. Part of that experience was not only did I franchise my brand, meaning that someone purchased my name, opened a store, and used my system. I was able to do that because I was also a franchisee, right? So I understood what it meant to be a franchise and to be a franchisee. So I did it for myself. However, my experience as a franchisee really opened my eyes to the planning that had to go into your business. So my bakery was a franchisee, and I'm just going to use one of the companies, to 1-800-Flowers. 1-800-Flowers has a whole side of their business. I was not a florist, but we did their fruit bouquets, right? That's the name of the product line. So, what they would have to do is not only did they plan more than 2 quarters in advance, but they allowed me to know what was coming up. They had trainings to teach us how to create some of the things that they were planning for the upcoming holidays. We would receive an entire book. So that means not only did they create it, photograph it, but they had the whole books printed, sent out to their franchisee, taught us how to do things, had the inventory ready for me to order, and then still at least a month or more in advance, they predicted my sales so that I could then turn around and make sure I had the inventory to meet that demand and start to hire my seasonal staff. So, with all of those moving parts, and then there's still the other things like the marketing, the graphics, the promotion. I was a franchisee, but I still had to promote my business using the images from their company. So, all of those things needed to be in place so that I could do what I needed to do to thrive in my business. So, they needed to be several steps ahead so that they can guide their organization to a successful holiday. What I will tell you is we had this several times in the year. Mother's Day was actually the biggest holiday for me as a baker. However, Christmas was big, Easter was big. Um, yeah, the Christmas season was big. Valentine's Day is the second biggest. So it's Mother's Day and Valentine's Day. Those are when like my sales skyrocket. But I had to be prepared. I can't wait until 2 weeks before Valentine's Day to shop in a retail store and hope to find really great products for my cupcakes. So my cakes, I had to design those cakes months in advance, order everything before the general public, before everyone else, so that I knew I was absolutely prepared to execute once that holiday came. So I know what you're thinking. Those are larger companies. I'm a smaller company. How does this affect me? Why do I need to do that? I don't have 1,000 people to inform anything to. It's just me. So I don't need to do all that. And the reality is, for a lot of us who are on the path to 100K, we delay. We don't make decisions. We make a lot of decisions last minute. And it's because you don't have the pressure from people who are depending on you to make a decision so they can continue doing their job, right? So you figure that if you delay or you don't make these decisions, that you are the only one affected, right? You don't have that pressure. So therefore, you don't create it for yourself. But what I'm telling you is, because you don't have a team and because you don't have a bigger support system, you absolutely have to start sooner, because you're going to have to do all these steps yourself or find people that are going to help you with the things that you absolutely can't do all alone. So I would challenge you to say that because it's just you actually need more time. And the key that I want you to pick up is stop delaying your thought, your process, and planning for your holiday. Once you solidify the what you're going to sell, right, which I said is your first step, you then have to create the marketing campaigns, the graphics, the emails, and actually executing on the plan that you create. That's a lot, right? I have absolutely found myself in a place where I have planned something last minute, and because I was there creating graphics, captions, trying to do the social media posting, trying to talk to people to build relationships, actually organizing the events, that I never executed on my marketing plan. I never fully created it. And so then here I am a few days before my event or before something is to kick off, and there's no one there. So, what I'm telling you is, it is important. These decisions have to be made. And this is what you have seen and sputtered through so many other times in your business, where all you end up doing is playing catch up. You're thinking, okay, I have this workshop, I got to create the graphic, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then before you know it, you hadn't talked to anyone about it, you haven't promoted it, you haven't built that email list that you're going to let know this thing is coming. Like, all of those things were neglected. So, if you're thinking, I don't need to do all that stuff, I'm small, the truth is, you do have to do that stuff. You will stay small if you continue to plan small, think small, and execute small, right? At some point, you have to start embracing what it actually takes for you to be successful. So, for this holiday season, let's maximize your sales opportunity. But I'm telling you, you have to start planning that out right now. So, your first step is making that decision, as I said, about what you are going to sell. Yesterday, the reason I'm sharing this today is because we are just going in on this concept in the 100K Society, which is my business coaching community. So we have weekly accountability calls, and we started this discussion about their holiday sales, the products and services that they're going to offer. And I have several members who have service-based businesses and have not yet created digital products, right? And by digital products, I mean they don't have a button on their website that says shop with items that people can just easily and readily purchase. So they are service based. They take appointments, they work with clients one on one. And so they're now making that tough decision on, am I going to create a digital product? Am I going to do something that I can put on my website and sell on demand? Or am I going to offer a limited number of packages to the services that they currently offer to their clients? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because some of you listening are going to say, well, I'm in services. I don't have these things. I'm not expecting large numbers of sales. What I want you to do is start anticipating that you can maximize your fourth quarter, your holiday sales. You can start now thinking about, how can I sell more? What can I do now to prepare myself? What can be automated? What tools can I get to help me get through this, so that when it comes time to have all these new clients and customers, I can serve them and not neglect these other areas of my business. So we're they have to make that tough decision. And for you, prior to hearing this and prior to me telling you in the middle of the year to start thinking about your holiday sales, you were just going to wait until closer to the holiday, think of something, use a standard template, create a flyer, and then hope for the best. But here, they're going to consider, what can I handle? What can I manage? Is there something that I can create that might take me only just a few short weeks that I can have up and running by the end of the year? but they have time to plan that out right now. So that's why I'm telling you, I don't want you to wait. I don't want you to make decisions at the last minute, because at that point, you definitely will be limited in your options. You'll be limited in your marketing strategy. You'll be limited in so many ways. And you will feel like I'm still taking the most, I'm still maximizing what I can do, but you're maximizing from such a huge disadvantage. So, what I'm challenging you to do in the middle of the year is to really take a moment and start thinking about, what are your goals? Like, what were your goals for 2021? Are you on track to hit them? Are you putting a lot of things off? Are you still considering how you're going to meet those goals? Well, you can start to understand what it takes to really make those sales, to maximize any selling cycle, really. But we're going to do it concentrating on the holidays. The reason why I do that with a lot of new businesses, or I'm going to say, businesses who are starting or just starting to grow, is because the holidays are a time where a lot of people are spending money. So why not capitalize on that? Why not capitalize on the fact that people are there looking for gifts, looking for ways to improve their life, looking for solutions to their problems, and looking for how they're going to have a much better year next year? I'm pretty sure your business can solve one of those problems. So if you're selling a product, let's say for self-care, maybe you need to promote it as a gift that they give to others, that they give to themselves. If you're in a self-help or coaching, you could be promoting how they're going to start working with you at the beginning of 2022 in some group setting, where you're going to teach them these particular skills that they've been waiting to learn or know will help change their life. But you need to start thinking about that today, so that you are prepared and can maximize your exposure, your impact, your influence, and of course, your sales during this upcoming holiday season. So I'm looking forward to you guys being with me for this August workshop. It is called Maximizing Your Holiday Sales and How to Become a Black Friday CEO. So I am excited to work with you guys, excited to hear about your businesses. I want you to come in prepared to work. There's not a lot of things you need to do in advance. We're going to work through it. That's why it's called a workshop. So just come prepared to say, okay, I'm ready to learn, I'm ready to go, and we're going to work through it that morning. So I'm looking forward to it. I want you guys to have a great fourth quarter of 2021. I want you to maximize, knock it out the park, and definitely don't leave your goals and quit on them at this point of the year, when you have so much potential to maximize on what you wanted to do in that last quarter of the year. Thank you guys for joining me for Win the Day. If you're on YouTube or the podcast, I absolutely appreciate you. And for all of you who joined me live on Facebook, I will see you live again for our next Win the Day. It's every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a great day. Bye.